Unfortunately, for a player who has the most to gain if they want to win the championship this year, it's KD. I don't know why. I can't explain it, but his career, for some reason, gets discredited based off that one move to Golden State. Everything he's been doing in his whole career is compared to that one move to Golden State, and people discredit this man for the rest of his career, as if he hasn't been balling for nearly 15 to 17 years right now.
Because he
Don't make
went
any
to go
sense.
because he went to Golden State to win. That's what he went to Golden State to do. Is that correct?
Yeah.
There was no reason for him to leave there. None. Because if that was the case, then he could have just stayed in Oklahoma City. They would have done everything for him. They would have gotten him what he needed. They would have continued to build
Well,
that unit around him. There was no reason for him to leave Oklahoma. There was no reason for him to leave Golden State because he went to Golden State because they played better. He wanted to win. He couldn't get past the gatekeeper in Steph Curry. So now he's got rabbit ears and he hears people telling him, you can't win without a super team. Oh, I'm going to prove to you that I can do that. When in reality, if you would have just stayed with the crew while you went there in the first place, none of this stuff would be going on. None of it.
well, chill. That's the thing. I can't be disingenuous and disregard what KD said on his podcast on why he left OKC and Golden State. He left. He left Golden State because one, he believed if he would have stayed, then they would have made a hard decision to get rid of either Clay or Draymond. And he didn't want that. He wanted guys to get as much money as possible. Number two, he didn't feel that he was completely part of the team. We saw how the front office was talking about him. We saw how the local beat writers was talking about him. The team as a unit accepted him, but the fan base didn't, the front office didn't, and some of the beat writers in the media didn't. And you said it multiple times, players care about things like that.
KD
So
does. KD
lastly, too,
definitely does. KD
lastly,
definitely.
too, in regards to him leaving the OKC, he left because they were making moves that he did not agree upon. For example, he didn't want Scott Brooks fired. He didn't want them to hire Billy Donovan, but they did anyway. He actually implored them and asked them on the 2015 offseason, hey, can we get some more shooters? That way me and Russ can operate the offense a little bit better. And they did it. End up getting Andre Roberson. So there's nothing wrong with a player exercise his right to leave to go to another franchise called free agency for a reason.
Right.
And then to conclude this point, it's unfortunate that his whole career gets an asterisk behind it because of that one move. I don't punish Moses Malone for going to the Houston Rockets, to the 76ers, and getting the job done. I don't punish Charles Barkley for getting out of Philly to go into the Phoenix Suns to increase his chances to win. It's free agency, it's mobility. It is what it is. That's part of life.
Okay, first of all, those two things are not the same thing. Moses went to Philadelphia. Philly didn't beat Houston in the playoff series. He didn't go jump on that crew because he didn't think he can get past Doc. So those two things are not the same. That's number one. Number two, Barkley was traded. He wasn't a free agent when he went to Phoenix. He was traded for Jeff Hornacek and I think Tim Long, something like that. So he was traded, and not only was he traded, they weren't serious in Philadelphia. They were not serious. They were just trying to make the playoffs every year, and they weren't trying to win. KD, let's stop equating what KD did with all of these other people. KD jumped on a unit that he lost to, that he didn't think that he could get past. That's what he did. It's not the same as anybody else, James, Moses Malone, Barkley, none of these dudes, with the exception of Barkley, who did jump on that Houston Rockets team after they beat them, being up 3-1. Barkley did do that. And we need to talk about, and Barkley needs to, and Barkley does need, because he was a free agent, and Barkley does
Well,
need
chill.
to,
Well, chill.
he needs to
Let
talk
me
about
bring it back. Let me bring up some history to you there, because a lot of people don't know this. I don't punish Earl Monroe. When the Knicks was beating on the Bullets back in the day, he got on that team. He took a lesser role. I'm not gonna punish him for winning the championship because at the end of the day, chill, it takes teams to win championships, not individual players. And as fans, we got to stop that. And to continue with the theme of the show, he is the player that, in my opinion, unfortunately, has the most to gain due to that idiotic logic of the narratives behind it. And also, just to put